And welcome back to JKLIVE. It's all about the youth here, folks. We're talking about storming the young. And yes, on the bench is Ladies' Night. Look at this, young, bright, smart, and forward-looking. This is what the future of Kenya looks like, folks. Starting on the way end, engineer Edith Mwirigi. She's actually running as an independent for Women Rep in Meru, but she's a former Secretary General of SONU. So she knows her way in politics. Right next to her, Cynthia Muge. And she has a nickname. She'll tell me more about it because I totally mispronounced it. It's called Chepti Konyol. She'll tell us what that means. She just won the Women Rep nomination for UDA in Nandi County. And right here next to me is Wakili Njeri Maina. She just won the UDA Women Rep for Kirinyaga County. Three ladies going all the way to the very top. Ladies, welcome to JKLIVE. Good to see you all, and congratulations. Let's start with you, engineer. Former SONU Secretary General, and now running as an independent. Why? Tell us why.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having us here today. It's a pleasure. It's a great opportunity that you support young people in the quest into political leadership. Let me first say, the reason as to why I'm here as an independent candidate is that I was in UDA party, but I didn't manage to participate in the nomination process for the fact that I wasn't very contented with the process. But that is what under the bridge. I'm here to prove to the young people that there's always another option. If one doesn't work out, there's a tomorrow that is better. So I'm here as an independent candidate. I'll be vying as an independent candidate for the woman representative in Meru County. Yeah.
It's a tough one, huh? Tough one in Meru County. But you have experience from SONU, right?
Definitely, Jeff. And I'm up to task.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. Cynthia, you were MCA since you were the age of 24.
Yes.
Tell us more about that journey.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I want to say it's been a learning process. I have enjoyed the journey for the 4 years and a few months. And I want to thank the people of Kiliboni. I represent a ward called Kiliboni in Mgwen constituency, of course, in Nandi County. They gave me an opportunity, despite being a very small young girl, a fresh graduate from the University of Nairobi in 2016, where Edith was our Secretary General. And it's been nice, Jeff. I cannot complain. I enjoy doing my job. I enjoy doing the oversight. I enjoy legislating, and I enjoy representing the people of Kiliboni. It's been nice. Yeah.
Yes. And that nickname that I totally butchered, forgive me, I said Chepti Konyol. You tell me.
Well, that is the English version of the name. Yeah. The right pronunciation of the name in Nandi, yes, to be specific, is Chepti Konyol.
Chepti Konyol. Which means?
That is better. It means make it better, make it nice, just make it look good. That is basically what it means. Mm. Yeah, but it sounds better, yeah, and even more enticing when said in Nandi.
Chepti Konyol.
Chepti Konyol.
There you go. Wakili Njeri Maina. It's not your first time in politics too either, right?
Yes.
Go on, tell us your journey.
I vied in 2017 for County Assembly Speaker in Kirinyaga County, and I've always been interested in politics because I believe that it is easier for the young people of this nation to take up spaces in politics, and we always say that power is taken, it's not given.
And you're going to take it?
Yes.
You're ready to take it?
I am ready to take it.
Like engineer says, are you up to the task?
Very much.
Politics is tough in Kirinyaga, huh?
It is. It's the hot spot, you know. It's the hot spot, yes, of the battle between UDA and Jubilee. Mm. Yes.
And who do you look up to? Who are your heroes or heroines in Kirinyaga?
Kirinyaga has a wide array of ladies to look up to. There's the current governor, Anne Waiguru, and there's obviously the Iron Lady, Martha Karua. So I think for me, there's been people that I have been looking up to along the journey.
Yeah, yeah. Engineer, politics, as you well know from SONU days, is a dirty, dirty business. And you want to get right in there?
Yes, Jeff.
Why?
Because I have experience. I have gone through a lot before. Let me say, first of all, I served in the student organization of Nairobi University from 2011, where I joined the SONU Parliament as a Hansard editor. And then I proceeded to running for the vice president, for the position of the vice president. I was in charge of academic affairs of the university. So that's when I was representing students at the University Senate. fighting for them, for any academic matters. You know, that's the core of that's the business of the university. Not forgetting the health issues. Then the next year, students told me, now you need to go to a higher position now that you've served as well. So I opted to go for the most coveted post, that's the Secretary General of the Union. I'm the first woman Secretary General of the University of Nairobi. There's never been another woman before, since the era of Orengo, the times of the renowned student leaders. So I pride myself to be the first woman Secretary General of SONU. So with that experience, I went through a lot back then when I was a student leader. There was a lot of violence, especially when I was going for the position, the male-dominated position. People were not in agreement that this is supposed to be for women. So when I won this position, I experienced a lot of gunship. Some of things I can't say them on air because I had people come to my room and they attacked my room actually. So I've experienced the bad side of politics. I don't expect it to be easier even this time, but I'm ready and I'm up to task. Yeah. Yes.
Cynthia, you too, I mean, you've been in politics. You started as an MC at 24, right?
Yes.
Are you ready to take it to the next level?
Definitely, Jeff, I am. And that is why I even got myself here. Like, I got an opportunity to be, it would have been anyone else, but it just happened that it is me. So that tells you that I am up to task and I can be able to do this. You see, it's something I have done before. I have been to politics, I have done politics, I have gone round and asked for votes. And I want to surprise you that I ran as an independent candidate in 2017, of course against men. And I still won. So yeah, why not? I can do it again.
Yeah. Wakili, what's your background? Tell us where you grew up, how you got into this, where you are today.
I think first is to say I'm honored to be here with these ladies. I used to look up to Edith. I remember in my in my campus room in Parkland School of Law, I'd see her posters. You know, she was vying, she was in SONU, and I was like, oh, when I grow up, I'd like to be her. You know, but I didn't have at the time. I didn't have the time to pursue politics because law school was pretty tough. I grew up in Kirinyaga County, in Kene. A place called Kivingoti. I don't know whether you've used the Sagana.
Yes, I have.
Have you seen a place where women sell bananas and they run fast to the road?
Yes.
Have you seen the place? That is my hometown.
Wow.
Yes.
And they stop all the cars in there?
They stop all the cars. They're very aggressive. Yes. So I come from a background where women fight for what they want. Yes. So I'm built of tough metal. And I was brought up in a lovely home. And unfortunately, my father passed away 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Yes, 2 weeks. 2 weeks before the nominations. Yes. So he's been the inspiration behind the person that you're seeing today, because he has brought me up on values of honesty, of integrity, of believing that there is nothing that you cannot do. And he always told me to go for whatever it is that I wanted to. And that is why I'm here. That is why I went for the position, because I believe I have the capacity to help people on a larger scale. Yeah. Yes.
During the nomination, did you feel his presence, even though he wasn't there? Did you feel that he was pushing you and urging you to move forward, to go forward?
I did, because I remember when I got the news, for a moment I thought, well, I can't do this, you know, because he was the one who was organizing those grassroots meetings and the networks in Kirinyaga County. But then I felt that I needed to do it for him. So I could feel him telling me to be stronger, to just push on and to keeping on and keep the faith, because he used to say that Mungu yupo. You know, when times that get frustrated by the finances and all that, he said, don't worry, things are going to, you know, work out according to God's plan. And yeah. They did.
I'm going to come to finances in a moment. Cynthia, what about you? Where did you grow up? Tell us a bit about your background.
Thank you, Jeff. I am a village girl, born in Kaptagunyo. There's a village called Kaptagunyo in Nandi County. And I went to Kaptagunyo Primary School. I went to Girls Senior for my secondary education. I went to University of Nairobi. I'm a physical planner by profession. And I also have a master's degree in project planning and management. So I grew up just like any other person from a humble background. And I also learned the hard way. Like, you have to grab it, you have to take it, you have to go out there, you have to believe in yourself, you have to get it done. That is where I grew up. And I'm glad I grew up in that particular setup, because maybe were it not for that, I wouldn't be here today. So I am a fighter. and a very good fighter for that matter.
And you keep fighting.
Oh, yeah, I keep fighting.
Are you ready for the murky world of politics?
Yes, I think I'm well prepared. I am well prepared for this because, Jeff, if we don't do it, who's going to do it? If we don't set a better standard for the politics, who is going to do it for children? We are not doing this for ourselves. We are doing this for posterity. We are doing this for those young generations, the kids we're raising, and the people that we want them to get and find a better place to live in. So we are not doing this for ourselves. We are not selfish, and that is why you can see. I'm actually surprised that Wakili was in UN in 2016. Same to Edith. So it looks like UN is made of good stuff. It is. You can clearly see it.
Especially that generation.
Oh yeah.
2016, 2015.
16, yeah. This is good stuff.
Wow. Incredible.
It is.
Engineer, did you know from the start that you were destined for big things?
Jeff, let me say I'm adventurous. My growing up, I grew up with a lot of boys in my neighborhood. My parents are civil servants. So I grew up in a town called Nkobo.
Called?
In Meru, Nkobo.
Nkobo, yes.
Nkobo.
I've heard of it.
Yes. I grew up near a stadium. I grew up with a lot of boys. We used to do adventurous activities, including, right now it's April, I remember how we used to go and hunt termites. Yeah, so one day, my late brother was very adventurous. We went to a DO's, my mom was a civil servant. She's a retired county government officer. So we used to go and hunt termites in very weird places. So this one day, we went to a DO's, district officer's compound to hunt termites. So in the process, the man came back. So the boys went up the tree, and then I was left below. So my brother told me, why don't you get into that termite nest?
Oh, no.
So that termite nest had, ants bite.
Yeah.
So I had to scream, and I set them up. It was a very bad experience. We were taken to our parents. Those are some of the experiences that I have with boys. And so it's exposed me to be very confident. When I got to University of Nairobi, honestly, I didn't know that I'm going to get into politics. Until one day I met one of my former high school friend, who was a head girl. So she told me, I think you have leadership skills. Can you try this? By then she was the vice president of SONU. So she inspired me. She held my hand. She guided me through SONU, and I served the student organization for 3 years. From then, I joined civil service. I've been serving at before I joined government, I was a project manager in 3 construction firms. And then from there, I joined the National Construction Authority, where I've been there for 5 years as a civil engineer. I've been part of I've done a lot of quality assurance in Nairobi. I've been part of research and also training construction workers.
Yeah.
So I've never envisioned myself as a politician. Even I was telling my friends I want to be an engineer, and I have a consultancy for my own. So my plan was to become a leader maybe in my 40s. But now, leadership is a cult. You never know when you're coming back to it.
And yes. It's a calling as well.
Yes. Definitely.
So, Cynthia, let me ask you this. Do you think we, our generation, have let you guys down? You think we have?
Yes and no. There are instances where you've done so well, and there are instances where you didn't do so well. So that is why we are coming in for us to be able to correct, or rather right the wrongs. I think that is where we're coming in from. But we want to say that the experience that we've had as young leaders, because you can hear everyone is saying that I look up to Martha Karua. Martha Karua belongs to your generation. Right. She is the kind of people who have been in leadership, and you can see she has been able to inspire a few people and a very good number of people. Because today, if you asked any aspiring politician, young or relatively young, they would still mention her because she has integrity and she has principles. At least she has left a mark in matters politics in this country. Yeah. So, and there are other things that have not been done so well, and that is why we're here. We are trying to right the wrongs.
Try to right the wrongs. I like that. Wakili, if I could ask you, what is the biggest challenge in, let's say, Kirinyaga County? What would you do differently?
I think right now in Kirinyaga County, we have the emerging issues, and that is what I am focused on dealing with, besides and beyond going above what my predecessor has done. I think I want to focus more on the emerging issues. We have the issue of mental health. It is such a tough nut to crack in Kirinyaga County. We have the issue of drug abuse. We have the issue of teenage pregnancy. So I want to really, in the first 100 days of office, if I'm elected, Jeff, I want to ensure that I have tackled those emerging issues in Kirinyaga County.
Engineer, what about you? What's the biggest challenging issue in Meru County?
Jeff, I come from a very unique county. We have 9 constituencies. It's a very, Meru County is very extensive. So in the 9 constituencies, we have, as a woman representative, let me say that the allocation of a woman rep is minimal. That's one of the concerns even I was discussing with my friends here as we're waiting for the program. Every constituency, a woman representative is allocated 7 million shillings to run the programs in the county. That's a very minimal budget. But we cannot just throw it under the, we cannot say it's water under the bridge. There are so many things that we can achieve. And my major focus in Meru County is women and young people. Why women and young people? Our mothers have raised us, most of them single-handedly, or even when our parents are there, our moms have been a pillar to our society. I want to empower women of Meru. I want to get into the groups, chamas, just like the current woman representative is doing. She's really empowering women at the grassroots. I want to carry on with a program. For the young people, they come with in different groups. There are those people who managed to clear universities, they got a job, and there are those who didn't manage even to clear, who cleared but they didn't manage to get a job. There's another group of young people that maybe they didn't manage to clear the program. Maybe they got to grade 8, or some women got pregnant when they were young. I want to have those in my plan. When I was working at the National Construction Authority, for the last 5 years, I've been able to be part of a program that trains construction workers. And I can tell you, Jeff, most of these construction workers are the people that didn't manage to go beyond maybe primary level. So we have people who have cleared their diplomas, their degrees, because the unemployment rate is high. So I want to target this group of young people. From my experience, through training these young people, I've learned that you don't have to go all the way to university to earn an income. So I want to bring the university students, the graduates, the diploma graduates, to interact with the uneducated people through forming curriculums whereby the graduates who are not employed can train the uneducated people. Yeah. Through that, you can have you can create a lot of employment for the unemployed people, short-term employment, as you seek for the long-term solution to the unemployment cases to the young people. Why am I saying this? Many politicians promise heaven when they are vying. You tell young people that I'm going to get you a job when I get there, but let's accept this, Jeff. We need to have short-term solutions to unemployment cases for our young people. In our village, there are so many young people who have indulged into drug abuse, alcoholism, especially the young men. And I'm sure every household has that young person who drinks a lot of alcohol. And it becomes a norm. You know, you don't feel people getting concerned that there are alcoholics in their families anymore, because every family, if not every family, at least there's a family in that village that has a drunkard. But has anyone asked themselves why this is so? It's because we need to come up with long-term solutions for the young people. And how do we get there? We need to have programs whereby a woman representative is putting every MP to task to have a database for unemployed young people in their constituencies. And once you have that database, through the legislative role of a woman representative as a woman, as an MP, we can push or even have laws that encourage companies to offer employment.
So, okay, let me ask Cynthia, in your part, in Nandi County, what would you do differently?
Thank you so much, Jeff. You see, what we do as politicians is add a bit of sugar and a bit of salt to what we want to do. Otherwise, it's well stipulated in the Constitution that this is your responsibility. So as a woman county representative, aspiring woman county representative, if given the opportunity, Jeff, there are issues that have to be sorted out. As you've heard, these beautiful ladies have been able to mention some of those problems. But I want to say this, Jeff, those are symptoms of a bigger problem. They are the root causes of these problems. And that is exactly what we need to address as representatives. And I want to say this. When you're elected as a woman county representative, many people tend to think think that it's a small position. Jeff, it's not a small position. When you're elected as a woman county representative, you go to parliament. Your responsibility, just like the constituency MP, is to do legislation. Legislation that is able to sort out and be able to address the issues that are facing the women and the youth back at home, the special interest groups as they are called. That is your responsibility, number one, to be able to ensure that if there is any policy or any legislation that is in parliament that is pending, you ensure that that is done. And secondly, because you are a representative of the people, you should be able to ensure that any of those policies that has been passed into law are implemented by the executive. Jeff, I can tell you for free, I have been in a county assembly, which is a mini national assembly. The problem that we have in this country is not the policies. It is not the legislations. We have a problem with the implementation. That is where we come in, Jeff. That is where me, Edith, and Wakili come in, so that we can be the tough ladies who will speak on behalf of the thousands and hundreds of thousands of the residents of Kenya, to be able to tell this government that it is your responsibility to deliver this service to these people, because all of them cannot come to parliament. But
you just heard engineer saying women rep gets what, like 7 million shillings, right? CDF is what? I think 140 or something? 137 million per MP.
Yes.
I mean, does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense, but that is why we are here. One, the Affirmative Action Fund is a small fund. But you see, government remains with a lot of money at the national government level. And that is where every county has a woman county representative elected. For you to be able to go and speak on behalf of your people and get that money going down to your county through whatever means, whether through the MP, whether through the women rep, whether through the county, that is increased allocation of the county allocations and all that, or even programs that run directly from the national government, because as much as many things were devolved, it's not a lot of money that was devolved. Just functions were devolved. And you see, you cannot devolve a function and leave the money behind. It's 1 minus 1, it's equals to 0. So that is exactly what we are here for, Jeff, to ensure that when we go to parliament, we ensure that every year that is in every ministry in this country is able to listen and is able to actually act on the demands. And it's not our demands. We are representatives of the people. We are just messengers. We are just bringing the message home, and we're asking you that, hey, go back home and deliver this service to the people.
Okay, do you agree? Can you live on 7 million shillings, or are you going to campaign, you're going to lobby for more?
I believe that is a very minuscule budget to give a woman representative, given that they actually cater for the interests of the county. And even though the Constitution provides that woman representative seat caters for special interest groups, you find that the entire county, men, women, children, they actually believe that you are elected to do something for them. And that is the expanded role of the woman representative. So I believe that is a very minuscule budget, and we are going to push. This bench here that is seated is going to push to ensure that the budget allocation for the seat of woman representative is up to a level that is going to cater for all the interests of the county.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of money, engineer, let me start with you. Campaign are rough periods, right? How much did you spend, plus minus? How much did you spend?
Jeff, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
Definitely a hard question.
Give an estimate.
Okay, were you walking around with loose change, you know, the 50s and the 100s and the golf facilities? I mean, is that standard in campaigns? No.
As a young person, Jeff, you have to tell the people the truth. Many times I meet people in towns. I do meetings. I tell them, let me tell you this. We need to start this from a point of trust. That I need, especially the young people. Actually, they're the ones who tell me, engineer, let's do this first. We know what's ahead of us. Even if you give us the handout today, tomorrow you're not going to help us. So the young people of Kenya have come to a point of getting to know that the long-term goal is better than the short-term goal. So, but there's still the challenges of meeting people that are like, hey, engineer, lazima utuachie kitu leo. You know, so it's a challenge. I cannot really estimate how much I've spent, but as a young person, I can say it's a challenge financially to run my campaigns. Yeah. Yes. And I expect more challenge now that I'm going to be an independent candidate. But I'm not giving up, Jeff, because I'm here to win it.
Good for you. I like that. Cynthia, you agree? I mean, it must have been expensive.
It's been expensive. In fact, what you want to do right now is to give us issues and problems with blood sugars if you go to that direction. Like estimate, really, Jeff? No, you can't go there right now.
No.
We are nursing serious injuries in terms of campaigns are expensive, whether you like it or not. It's expensive. You have to do branding. You have to ensure that you have some petrol for you to be able to move around and all that. You must ensure that you will walk into a gathering and you're told there's a mama here who needs some help, and the help is in form of 3,000 shillings. Jeff, you have to cough it. If you don't cough it, you know, it's that little.
Yes.
Well, it's a genuine problem that needs to be sorted. But you see, you're only sorting it for that minute or 1 day or 2 days or 3 days only. So it's no joke. It's expensive. It's really expensive. And we cannot go into the figures. We will literally faint here, Jeff. Especially, and you see, in this race, especially for the UDA, most of the UDA, I'm a UDA member, and I ran for a UDA ticket that I won, and I thank God for that. If you go to zones which is 90% done, apart from those who had complaints, and I want to appreciate UDA for that, they were able to mount a huge nomination process. It was really good, apart from a few issues, but they have been sorted amicably, which is a very good thing. If you ask anyone who lost, let me tell you this, Jeff, some people that lost have not been able to leave their bedrooms. It's not easy. It's not easy. And Jeff, losing an election is no joke. In fact, if you have a friend who lost an election, please call the friend. You need to call them. Just say hi and you say, we live to fight another day.
Are you okay?
Yeah, you okay? It's nasty, Jeff. It's nasty. It's bad.
And yet you're in it, Cynthia. Why?
Well, I'm made of hard stuff. So I'm here.
Good answer, good answer. Wakili, you too? How much did you spend? I mean, was it expensive?
I think what I can say is that I have drained my accounts. Jeff, we have a situation in this country. We have set up our politics upon, you know, the structures of money. And at the end of the day, you find that you go to the ground and things are totally different. Perhaps here on social media platforms, you'll see people saying, oh, we just need to listen to your agenda, to your ideas, do what you want to do for the people of Kirinyaga County. But you go to the actual ground, you find that as a community, we want to sort of worship money more. And Mimi, there's a time someone told me, tanguka asubuhi, just because you didn't buy them chai, you know? And that is what we are not discussing about. How do we change that narrative? How do we move from that to something better? And even young people, because I'm a young person, I'd go to young people and you'd feel that they feel that you're a bit mean with your money. But there's no money. I don't have the money. I am a young person. I'm 28 years old, you know? I don't have like a bag of a few million stashed, you know, waiting to dish out on campaigns. I want to sell my agenda to you. And you find that there's also this narrative. People believe that if you're a leader, you should solve all their social issues. You know, so someone is going to call in the middle of the night, they have a sick child, and you have to cater for that. So I think it is an issue to do with the community and also to do with the politicians, because you find that your competitors will take that as an edge over you as a younger person. And I was running against a former assembly speaker and a famous detective. So you can imagine how well-oiled my competitors were compared to me. So it's very hard. It has been very strenuous, but I have banked on family and a few close friends who've been there to help me, you know, fuel the car, do a bit of branding here and there. But I haven't been able to mount the campaign I would want to mount. But I would not go around dishing money, because even if I wanted to, I did not have the money. Yeah. But I was going to people, approaching, if it's a women's group, telling them, look at me, I am your child, I'm your daughter. Do you have a daughter at home? If you look at me, you should see your daughter. And if I speak to you, you should listen like you'd listen to your daughter. Would you demand for money from your daughter? Would you expect your daughter to have this certain amount of money to dish around? So I think that is the way I approached the people of Kirinyaga County, and they have been so receptive about it. And I'm glad that the message is getting home finally, that we need to move on from politics of money to politics of ideologies and politics of character, politics of what you're made of, what you're going to sell to the people and all that.
Yeah. Engineer, is that how we're going to get rid of corruption in the end, do you think, if we change the whole narrative, like Wakili just said?
Let me first say the political party act need to be amended, not just when it comes to the financial aspect only. If you look at the European parliamentary system, most coalitions are formed after elections. The party that has the majority of members of parliament gets to get the prime minister. So that helps a lot because people focus on their individual campaigns, not on the collective tribal. Someone gets call themselves a tribal kingpin, and they want to bargain in a political party or in a coalition. So that's the first thing we need to work on. Secondly, our political parties need to really change when it comes to, I'm not trying to critique a particular political party, but we have a long way to go when it comes to being the outfits, temporary outfits during general elections. Like right now, you have a few major political parties that are known very well, but after these elections, they'll be done and dusted. We need to copy the model of South Africa, Tanzania. They have very strong political parties that have been there since independence, and that would help. I'm looking at the challenges, especially, let me give a case example. Right now, every political party has teething problems, whereby some people feel contented by the nomination process. There are those who are not contented. Like even, for example, UDA. My sisters here, I congratulate them for winning the nomination, but I still have my own issues that I feel my region was not fair enough in the nomination process. So if we have regular, consistent political parties during and actually after the election period, these teething problems are going to be a thing of the past. So secondly, when it comes to financing of the political parties, that's one of the challenges I noticed, actually, that most of the young people, I would say I have so many friends who have been phased out, both in UDA and Jubilee Party, not because they're not strong, but because they are termed as a financial baggage in the parties. Someone thinks you can't sustain your campaign. You've not been there for party. When party needed your finances, when the party needed you to register people, you're not there. But on the ground, you're a very good, formidable candidate. So I feel we have a long way to go in terms of party politics. If we need to achieve the gender role, we need to change the way we run our parties, definitely, yeah. Yeah,
that two-thirds gender thing, I still don't get it, huh? We've never passed it. I mean, Cynthia, it doesn't make sense, huh? You think you guys will be able to change that? And that's at the national level, huh?
Yes. The two-thirds gender rule, Jeff, I want to say that I think we have dragged it too long. It was supposed to have been something that has been sorted out. But I want to say this, Jeff. You see, with the creation of the woman county rep position, I want to say that it has had a bit of success. In 2013, for instance, in Nandi County, when the constitution, the first voting of the county governments and all that was done, there was no female MCA in Nandi County. But with the coming in of the women rep positions, it gave a different picture to the electorates in Nandi County. That, oh, a woman can be given a position, can be a leader, can be given a microphone, and they can do well. Oh, wow. In 2017, they elected a record 6 women to county assembly. And I want to shock you this time around, Jeff. For the first time in a long time, they have elected a female MP in Nandi County, a constituency called Aldai, Honorable Marianne Keitany. I know maybe you've heard of her before. So I want to say that as much as we have not met the two-thirds gender rule, we are headed there. And that is why these particular strong women sitting on your bench today are here. It is our sole responsibility to ensure that when we go to office, the first fruit number 1 for Wakili and for Edith and me, God willing, when we get this position to be women rep in our respective counties, should be in 2027, when the next election will be held, as a woman rep. How many women did you mentor and how many women did you lead through the nominations and finally the elections of member of county assembly and even member of parliament? That is exactly why we're here. And we are here to bring a fresh breath of life to the women rep position. It should be able to serve its purpose to ensure that women are capacitated in every aspect. They should be given capacity for them to be able to run competitively in the male-dominated fields. And let me tell you, Jeff, women are forced to reckon. Let me tell you that today. You will remember this particular day. You will remember it. There will come a time when the two-thirds gender rule will not be viewed as a women thing.
Will not be a debate.
It will not be a debate anymore. It will actually be on the other end of Kidogo ilipitana, maybe we need 2 additional men to be nominated. And we look forward to that day. And that is why we are here, and we're going to ensure that we don't let the young people of Kenya down. Cynthia, we will not let them down.
You mentioned the word refreshing. Not only is it for Kenyan politics, but also for the bench. It feels so refreshing.
I am glad.
Honestly, to have young, bright, smart women and so confident. Wakili, Cynthia, engineer, let's take a quick break, come back. I know there's a lot of reaction. We'll go to the magic wall to see what people are saying on Twitter.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Twitter.
You guys are incredible. It's so refreshing to see
Thank
that
you.
the future of Kenya looks so bright.
Thank you.
What do you think? Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV Kenya, the hashtag JKLIVE. How refreshing it is to see the future of Kenya right here, live on the bench. Jeff Koinange Live takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.